everyone, this is day 2 of the SCGT tournament 2014, which I attended. And I start with my game 4 against a very fluffy, you saw the comp score 7 at the intro there, very fluffy Warriors of Chaos army. Fluffy? Yes. Tough? Also. He has 3 cameras, as you will see in a second. Now, a bit more around the event itself. So day 1, I exceeded my expectations. I wanted to go there and at least have some fun, but more importantly win 1 game. I won 2 on my first day, which was awesome. So yeah, looking forward to this. I'm hopeful. I'm thinking, yeah, the dice are okay this past couple of games. So maybe, you know, never know. If I don't do too many mistakes, maybe I get a chance. It's gonna be really tough. I have a few units who could deal with the cameras, but really I'll have to coordinate everything. So it's gonna be an interesting game, but let's see how it goes. For once in the tournament, I take a picture of my spells. The level 1 of Beast gets Wisdom Wild Form. The level 1 of Life gets the Dwellers below. It's a bit tricky, but that's what she gets. I then get on my level 4 on the Fae, Flesh to Stone, Shield of Thorn, Regrowth, and Awakening of the Woods. My opponent has a Slaanesh theme army, so no other marks in the in his list. He's got a lot of fast cav as well, a lot of marauders. His characters are on a Slaanesh steed cavalry unit. I forgot what they called, but you'll see. I'm sure you'll tell me at the end. And some chariots, and of course the 3 cameras, as you can see at the top of the screen. So once again, I expected to come to the tournament with a comp score of 6 and get bonus on all rolls, but most of the games I played I've got roughly the same comp score, or I am down on comp score. So my opponent wins the setup roll and he chooses the battle engagement, so the diagonal one, and that's why you can see my archers already in the tower there. And so deployment, on the left of the archer are my questing knights with a paladin. I have my knight errant full command, and then yes, level 1 of life is outside of the knight errant because she's got the dwellers below, just in case I can cast it and don't blow the whole unit. So it's a bit of a bait, and I put her there just in case. I have then my first trebuchet, then my big boss on Knight of the Realm with the Enchantress, the BSB, my second paladin. Then on the hill is another trebuchet by the Tapinger. In front of the hill are my Pegasus Knights, who will vanguard forward like this. Then I have my small unit of Knight Errants at the top right of the screen there. The level 1 Damsel is with the archers in the tower. I know she seems alone in the middle of the battlefield, but she's not. Don't worry about it. My opponent on his side, from the left on the top there, he's got a unit of Marauder Fastcav, another unit of Marauder Fastcav, and this one has got 2 ranks of them. He then has a chariot. I don't think it has any mark. He's got 3 cameras, and you're going to see they're pretty nasty. And he's got his block of characters on Steed of Slaanesh with cavalry unit. He then has his last chariot on the top right of the screen there, not too far from the Pegasus Knight. Bretonnia win the roll to go first, and I move my Questing Knights forward to keep at bay the Marauders unit and keep an angle, so if anything charges into anything else, I have a flank. There was nothing for the Pegasus Knight to do, so I move them back a bit so they're a bit more safe and will stay in action for the next couple of rounds. In Magic phase, I forgot to use the Chalice, which is a bit of a pain. Cast Wisdom Wild Form on the Enchantress and Flesh to Stone on the Peg Knight. In the shooting phase, I got a lucky shot with one of the Trebs, hits the Lord unit and kills 6 of the cavalry unit, which is pretty good. Warriors of Chaos turn 1. What's gonna happen? So he declares no charges, which is good. But he moves his big unit of Marauders in front of my 2 lances, like so, as you can see there, which is a bit annoying. He moves his general unit closer. I guess he thinks that if he stays far, I could just eradicate the whole unit and the characters with Trebuchet, so good thinking. And of course the camera's squadron, as you can see, tight formation, follow, and I like this because I'm gonna play 2 soon. So I'm learning how someone who's been playing with this list for a long time can play. So there you go. They're close to the BSB, they're close to the general, and the entire formation. So you get redundancy, which is now taken care of. In the magic phase, he's close, he's got a bubble, of course he's trying to cast Cacophony Choir, he doesn't miscast it, and so I use my Silver Mirror on the level 1 of life, who will probably pop, or has high potential of popping given that they have dwellers below. So there, and the Sorcerer Lord passes his ward, it does not take away. And this is Bretonnia turn 2, and the big brain fart. Big brain fart. So there you go, I've got a nice concave, I'm very happy about it. I've got my flanks taken care of, his big unit is weakened. I forgot to mention, I moved my Hero King Lord Paladin out of the French Enchantress Knight of the Realm unit there, between the hill and the lance. The idea is that either he's gonna hunt the monsters and try a lucky 6 on his Hero King Blow, or go for the big burst of characters and challenge and try to get lucky. He's got supports from either the Pegasus Knights, or from the Knight Errant on the right there, or from the lands, or maybe from the Questy Knight, even from the whole left over there. So good concave, I'm well set up. If I weaken these guys, if I can do something with the cameras, ideally what I want to do is get rid of his general or his BSB, and then try to combat res the chimeras with the leadership of 5 and then run them down. That's possible, it can happen, but only if you don't make a mistake, and this is where I make the biggest mistake of the tournament. Yep, you see it there on the bottom right of the screen. I decide to charge the 10 Marauders fast cav. Why, oh why did I do that? Why? Well, it was a brain fart. And you learn, so I learn. However, not only I do that, but I also charge the French Interest unit. So now, what's the worst that can happen? I think combat, no, that would be good actually, because his cameras, only 2 of them would be able to charge. So the worst that can happen is that I destroy his unit completely. I do not overrun enough that I offer a flank, or I crisscross myself and offer a flank with one of the lands. And, well, you'll see what happens. Oh yeah, so I don't think I can, I only have 2 scrolls, so it's going to be hard to get rid of his Cacophony Choir. So I decide to charge the Lone Paladin with Hero King Blow into his Sorcerer Lord, and flank his weakened unit of Steed of Slanesh, or Slanesh Marauders, whatever, with the Pegasus Knights. In the movement phase, I move up my Knight Errant at the top of the screen there, just next to the building, to cover and provide support to the Peg Knights. It was not a very good placement. In the magic phase, I tried to put Flesh to Stone on the Peg Knights, but he scrolls it. I then do Shield of Thorns on the Peg Knights. The Chalice gives me a 6, so it's Chain Lightning, but the Chalice runs out of power, and I shoot at the cameras. The first camera gets no wound, it jumps on the second camera, gets 2 wounds on the camera, jumps on the third camera, and causes no wound, and does not jump anymore. So good use of the Chalice, I guess. And combat with the Sorcerer Lords. So my Paladin declares a challenge, and he accepts with the Sorcerer Lord, which is awesome. My Paladin there has maximized and touches 2 characters from his. The third one is able to move and makes way to face the Pegasus Knight. Unfortunately, his unit is not offering me any flank, so I cannot hit the unit with Peg Knights, which is a bit of a problem. The Sorcerer does nothing. My Paladin causes no wound, it fluffs entirely, and that's a shame. The Exalted Hero on the Peg Knights causes 2 wound. I lose by 2 because he's got a rank, got a flank. What else? Yeah, he got 2 wounds. So I lose, and the Pegasus Knight flees. So great rolling. They were too far away from a BSB, unfortunately. So they flee, and my lone paladin has a task to hold the whole character bus on by himself. I know, technically he's in a challenge, so he only fights one of the guys, but still. Quite heroic, don't you think? And this is the picture of the cowardly Pegasus Knights. The combat against the Marauder, well, guess what happens? So my 2 lances explode the unit, they don't even flee, they just kill on the spot. And then, the biggest brain fart, I decide to overrun with my Knight Errant, and then reform with my French Interest unit, like so. So he can charge 2 cameras into my French Interest unit. He kills my Paladin, he can overrun into the French Interest unit with his characters, and a few remaining cavalry units he's got there. He can charge the flank of my Knight Errants with his 3 cameras, his chariot, maybe his marauders from the top there, if he's lucky. And then, of course, they're not going to stand all that pressure, so they will most likely run away, die, and then he can simply overrun into the flank of my French Interest unit. So, well done, General. Sorry guys, it's on me this one. I apologize, big brain fart. I got chuffed, he chuffed me, he's got chaff units, and I took the bait. Maybe it was too early, maybe the coffee was strong enough, I don't know, but yeah, I know now. I learned, I will not do this mistake again. And so with horror, let's see how my opponent's turn 2 unravels. Fortunately, he's got these neat arrows there that define the charge. So he charges 1 of the cameras on the trebuchet. He charges 2 cameras on the flank of the Knight Errant on the left of the screen there, and his chariot on the same unit. His top right chariot there is going to charge my Knight Errant, and I guess if he's lucky enough, he can then overrun and take care of the fleeing Pegasus Knight. And on the top left of the screen there, on the top left of the screen, his units of Marauders just stick there, keep my Coasty Knight interested and out of the main combat, which again, deployment was another mistake. I need my big hitters in support, not far away on the flank like this. There you go, another mistake. And so we resolve the charges, and yes, 2 cameras plus a chariot in the flank, so on impact hits I'm gonna take gazillion hits already alone, and then the horror again. And on his right, the chariot succeeds a long charge and hits my Knight Errants there. In combat, he casts Phantasmagoria on the French Interest unit, and I scroll it. He then casts Choir on the trebuchets, and I dispel it irresistibly. In combat phase, the chariot kills 2 knights and lose by 2 in the end, and they panic, they break, they flee off the table, and he sticks. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting to lose much more models against the Chariot of Chaos, but losing because you fail a moral check is a bit annoying. But that's a game of dice. Right, do you really want me to tell you what happens there? Alright. Oh, and of course I pick up the trebuchet models. We don't even do the combat between the cameras and the trebuchet. I decided to charge the Questing Knights into the Marauders. In fact, it was the only thing in my line of arc of charge. The cameras, if they would have been held by the Knight Errant, I could have charged the flank of either the chariots or the rear of the cameras, but because they overran and moved towards me, they were out of the arc of charge, which is unfortunate. In combat, it starts gently, he causes 4 wounds, and then I think he uses one of his cameras' breath weapon, which he didn't use against the other unit, or he didn't use it against the other unit, but uses it there, so there's about, I don't know, some stupid amount of it. So this is what happens. I only end up with my Paladin BSB, the Enchantress, who is now in contact with the cameras, the unit champion, and the standard bearer of this unit. And without further ado, Warriors turn 4. Of course, he dispatches my general and my big boss. And at this stage, I just give up. I say, fine, you win. Made a big mistake. Mea culpa. That's my fault. C'est ma faute. So yeah, it was a good game. The player was very knowledgeable about Bretonnia as well. And again, we had some time after, so we reviewed this. Especially, I told him I wanted to play at least with 2 cameras and some dragons and some fluff stuff. So yeah, it talked to me about the bubbles, talked to me about Slanesh, how it works. Greek he was fortunate with his character Lord, but still, this is when you make a big mistake like that and you're going to be charged by really hard-hitting units, you can't make mistakes like this. So this is what happened, and when it happens, it hurts. I guess in this game the plans didn't align, and my stupidity took the better of me, and it was a big one. Yeah, a big stupidity. Well, but yeah, I enjoyed the game, so with no remorse. I gave away a lot of points. My opponent scored in this game I gave him in total 2,997, because I had only a 2,397 army list. And I get 290, I guess, from the Marauders over there. So yeah, he did his mission, and I did not do mine, and mine was number 4. Well, we both had number 4. Sorry for this noise. Number 4 was King of the Castle. Have more building garrison than your opponents at the end of the game. And I believe he had a unit of Marauders on the top right of the table from where I stand. There was a house by the chariot, and that's where they were. So yeah, the idea was to send my Peg Knights and kill them, but they got sidetracked and scared from weird mounts that look like snakes with boobs. But there you go. So game 4 lost. Game 4 lost big time. So we were on table 30. I'm probably go down to the abyssal number now in terms of table. But yeah, I enjoyed playing this army list. It was a very fluffy Warriors of Chaos. I did not expect to play against this. I really felt I had a good concave at the end of turn 1. If I didn't do the big mistake, something different would happen. Probably a very interesting game. It was okay, I guess, but I guess once you see the big mistake, nothing is going to go well. Well, it's going to be really hard to come back from that mistake. So, hope you enjoyed the game. This is game 4. Hopefully, I'll be able to post game 5 and 6 shortly. Thank you.